Hey everybody, we actually just completed a game playing my Champions of Faith list against Jason's. What detachment were you playing, Jace?
Awakened Dynasty.
Awakened Dynasty Necrons. There were some
Or no,
comments.
my bad. Star Shatter Arsenal. My
Okay,
bad.
that makes more sense. Star Shatter. So there had been some requests for seeing sisters versus some C'tan, and he brought two C'tan and the Silent King, which was lovely. But um, I'll put the list on the screen so you guys can see those and everything. The final score ended up being 86 to 49. I think that there's some things that both of us kind of thought and wanted to change with our list, but I'll let you go first, Jace. What was your thought?
First time playing Necrons. So scoring, I feel like scoring 49 points is pretty decent. Some of you may disagree, but first time picking up the army, forgot a couple rules here and there that would have probably helped me out. Forgetting that some things got reanimation protocols when I didn't think they did, forgetting that some things got a 5-up feel no pain, forgot about that. So, I mean, having some of that to do all over again, I think I could have done more. I played a little bit of cagey Warhammer, as you've heard us discuss before, especially with three big models that take a lot of attention. He threw maybe 3 or 4 waves of sisters, and we're talking 10-man bricks and shooting at just my Void Dragon before it finally went down in I think it was turn 3 or turn 4. And so highly durable. The C'tan Shard of Despair, it's strong. Um, I didn't utilize it to the best of my ability. It hung out on the left-hand side of the board, the side that didn't have a point except for his closer point of interest, which you see there in the upper left. He was in the profile of the building next to the 2 Doomsday Arcs.
Hang on, I'm gonna actually share the screen.
So yeah, he was in this profile of this building that he's moving him into now. Instead of pushing it on up the board and causing the 5 sisters he had holding the point and the immolator to come out, I just kept him there for too long doing nothing.
Yeah, I think because you were so his guys back here, he was nervous of the emulator bomb, and because of that, you know, I think these units didn't get engaged. Now, one thing I will say, since we're talking about the beginning of the game, that you can't be afraid as a sisters player to do, as silly as it's going to sound, is to die. So I went first, and this rhino scouted forward with my sanctifiers, and then I'm gonna kind of like put this where they went. But these girls, I literally made like a little, like, what I call like a death line right here, and my whole goal was, I didn't want he had like a void dragon, which I think we yeeted it off the table. He had a whole army of stuff back here. He had the Silent King over here. He had a void dragon here. And my whole thought was, is like, I'll spend 100 points to keep this stuff from coming forward and advancing into the game while I'm staging. And sure enough, he killed them all but two, like super easy just in shooting. They miraculously survived, but the goal was to keep him from coming out so I could choose when I want to punch. And I think a lot of the time players get too nervous about like running forward. And by the way, I scored 0 points on turn 1. I scored 0 secondary, which I think a lot of times people can go, but I also set the pace. I owned all 3 points and I was trying to push him and keep his big scary models in that box.
It was effective. He pretty much caged me in and I had to fight my way out. I mean, I believe the Void Dragon does have fly. I could have flew over the screen. I could have paid a CP to move through the wall,
100%. And
and
I
I
was I
could.
was kind of banking on that a little bit. And my hope was, is if he came out, he was by himself, but didn't fall for that bait. But then you kind of got turtled in there.
Yeah, and I mean, Void Dragon held his own, but I got wrapped around. I had some flayed ones that I basically infiltrated behind the lower right in that lower right quadrant behind that
Yep.
wall
Right back
and
here to
held that.
hold this point. Yep.
He pushed up an immolator, dropped out some sisters,
Yeah,
took the point.
another thing about, like, not being afraid to die, I had an immolator here, so I brought him over here, disembarked 5 Battle Sisters, so I could flip the point to deny the primary. I knew those girls would die, but I was willing to give the 50 points because I had the initiative, and I was trying to just push the pace. I kind of accepted on turn 2 that there was a strong chance my whole army was gonna die, but I thought I could get such a commanding lead that it wouldn't.
And I played Drake more than I've played anybody else in our friend group. And this is the first time I've ever seen him play completely out of his comfort zone because he was just throwing stuff forward, just like,
You can't
because
you can't play KG Warhammer against, like, giant C'tans 'cause you'll lose. So I full scented him on turn 2, which is
yeah,
not how I play Sisters and not
no,
how I think you should play Sisters. But, like, I brought these Retributors in for reserve. I brought these other girls out from the other wall. I shot him with 24 Melta shots, did 0 damage, by the way. 0, 0 damage. Like, but that's just the way the dice goes sometimes, right? But my whole thought was, like, we're gonna go all in, flip this point. I was like, I'm going to come out. I'm going to blow up the Silent King. It's going to be amazing. That didn't happen, but I knew that if I played super cagey, like I can't send like I can't. Sisters want to be a trading army. You can't trade against 2 up, 4 up, a million health. In 4 up invone, 5 up feel no pain, toughness a trillion. Like you can't play that kind of game. So like I had to go. I'm gonna push, and the second you get a lead, I was like, I just can't take my foot off the gas. I have
mm,
to keep going. And there was multiple times during the game, you can like Jace can tell you, I literally went, I don't like this, I don't
yep.
like this, I don't like this. But it was like, just keep going.
And the funny thing is, dice tells stories. It don't matter if you're playing D&D, anything.
26 Meltas did 0
20 and
damage.
26 Meltas, no damage. And if he had any that went through, my dice were hot in the beginning.
This
I
mother
think,
trucker was rolling straight 5s and 6s on every save.
and like, it was
Just
4 and above on all my saves.
it
But my
was.
Doomsday Arcs,
They
2 of
they didn't
them,
play the game. They didn't play the
they
game.
didn't play the game on a
2 of them shot
D6
at a rhino.
and
At a
didn't kill it.
rhino. Only did 4 damage to it.
There was 1 save on a 6 on his part. But
Yeah.
each of those times, I only got 3 shots, D6 plus 1. I only got 3
Terrible.
shots.
Terrible.
And
But
I'm
that's
like,
just the way the game goes, sometimes. But, just to kind of show you guys how the score went and just to walk you through it. I pushed really, really hard, and I think Sisters should. You should tactically move forward when you're playing against C'tan. You've got to push their army in a little bit, and you're trying to kill everything. Your goal is, how do I kill one big stomping monster and then the rest of the army and ignore the other 2? And that's basically what I did. Once I shot and whiffed on the Silent King on turn 2, I knew I had the primary score. He was winning on secondary, and I just said, I'm going to all in the Void Dragon. I'm ignoring everything else. On the next turn, I knew I was again, I did good on primary, and I just all into the Void Dragon and killed him. Once I killed the Void Dragon, like the as you can see at the end of the game, like Golden Boy is still alive. The Silent King was really hurt, but I just ignored them and I just started killing all of his other units to keep him from scoring. And these girls were all dead. The suits are dead. Like all my units are like really hurt. Like they're either hurt or dead. But the goal is that I got you. You have to go. I'm not going to have a lot of models. This is going to be an ugly game against C'tan, and that's how you beat them.
and another thing is he was doing a great job of going in. I had a baby marked for death. Uh, he was able to pull them back behind a wall because I could only discard 1 card. He pulled them back behind the wall. He denied me points there on turn 2. He denied me points at that lower right hand objective multiple
Yeah,
times. So
he would kill me off of it, and then on my turn, I would put just enough OC back on it to deny him. So I was just bleeding units onto it to basically keep him from scoring his expansion.
and the thing is, when someone's bringing 3 big models that equate to damn near half your army, and you are out united, or that united ain't a word. When someone has more units than you do,
Unit count.
it's gonna be really, really hard if you're playing cagey the way I was. And had I to do it all over again, I'd have probably played less cagey. I'd have pushed the pressure with those big guys now, knowing
Mhm.
how much it takes to actually take them down.
He watched me shoot damn near my entire army into the Silent King and barely scratched him.
And I had to Google halfway through because one, I forgot the Silent King had reanimation protocols, and
It
y'all
didn't
can.
matter. I didn't do any damage to him, Jason.
Well, I mean, on the tank shock you did,
Okay. I did 2
but
damage.
I
Apologies.
also didn't know, which y'all can correct me if there's any Necron players that see this. Reanimation protocols, I Googled, you can bring back the 2 pylons or bring back, when you do your reanimation protocol. So I didn't know that. I could have done that a couple times. I don't think a single one of his pylons got off one of those 6 damage shots the entire game. That was poor play by me. Again, first time playing the army. There's a lot of things I learned from it. I've looked at picking up Necrons as a second army. Um, so I just like to dabble just to see what other armies do since I'm not playing in tournaments. So the one day that I do, I at least have some sort of idea what something does.
So, just to kind of end, I think from my perspective, this is the same Sisters Army that I ran against Orks last week. I actually think that it is a good army. What I'm trying to figure out is if I want that second unit of Insidiants with the preacher. I still really like the sanctifiers and the rhino. I like the scouting and then leapfrogging either sacrosaints or insidiants into it. I really like that whole interaction. It's the second one that just doesn't feel good. um it just feels like something's lacking. I do like the Battle Sisters. I like it didn't come up in this game. I do like their ability to sticky a point, but I'm not in love with this list, honestly. It just doesn't feel right for my play style. It aspects of it want to play fast, aspects of it want to play slow, and so it just feels very conflicting from a play style perspective. And so I'm just not vibing with it right now. I think that the next list I'm going to play, I'm actually going to completely switch it up, play Bringers of Flame, and I've got a Bringers of Flame list I've been kind of playing with, just to try something different. But I know that you guys have requested several. A lot of people are worried about the Necron, thing. Just kill one of them and then kill the rest of the army and ignore them is the best advice I can give you. Out OCM on the point. But with Jason wanting to pick this army up, I'm sure we'll get another game in with him playing Necrons. I'm sure there's some stuff you'll probably want to tweak within the list.
Oh, yeah, or play one of the different attachments just to see. Because, Star Shatter is one of the ones that's winning a lot of tournaments, or at least placing Pantheon of Woe, or the Canoptic Court will probably be one that I dabble in the next time, now that I have a firm understanding of reanimation protocols, which is basically what the army is built on, and my dumb butt forgot about using it.
Yeah, that's all right. It happens. But hopefully this is helpful, and hopefully this recap is helpful for you guys. So drop a like for the Emperor, subscribe for more 40K content, and we'll have another game coming up before you know it. Thanks, guys.